What's going on, you guys? Slim here with a very late video, but you know your boys got you, and I got you on the first place undefeated TRI-BRIGADE LYRILUSC deck that just won our NA Remote Duel Extravaganza, piloted by Kyle Waterbury. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you again so much. He was kind enough to actually send this to me after the long day he's had playing the 8 rounds for the whole day. He was still kind enough to send me this as well as his tournament report, and you know that no matter the time, your boys got you, so I just want to give him a huge shout out for that. I really do appreciate it. And this man went undefeated and won this whole event with Bird Up. I don't even know what to say. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Links are in the description. Links are in the description to all my plugs. I'll have them over there to the side. I don't even want to waste time talking about this. We need to talk about this deck. Bird Up came out of nowhere and went undefeated and just bodied this event, and this is just incredible. Like we always do on this series, I'm going to go over the deck list. I'm going to talk about why I fell at 1, and we're going to go over his tournament report because he gave it to me in very good detail. So to get into it, I will get to his main deck. For his hand traps, he's playing triple copies of Ash Blossom, obviously one of the most generic and just best hand traps of the format, along with one of the best win conditions this deck has going for it, the Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds. Basically makes it to where if you're not playing wind monsters, you can't special summon anything, so good luck. 3 copies of DD Crow. This is one of the most versatile cards in the deck. It's searchable off one of the cards in the extra deck. Not only that, this card is just so good against the format. They're playing Eldritch, you banish the Golden Lord or any of the traps, they're out of the wall, they're just done. Play against Drytron, you literally banish the Ben 10, they're done. Very good against Virtual World for banishing Qinglong, the trap, anything like that. This card is just incredible in the deck. 2 copies of the LYRILUSC, the Cobalt Sparrow, the 1 copy of the Sapphire Swallow, and the 3 copies of the Turquoise Warbler. Of course, the other monster that you summon off of Samorg, the Mist Valley Apex Avion, basically your negate. This card is just crazy. You usually start with the Barrier Statue, and then on the next end phase, you literally summon this, and your opponent just basically loses at that point. Other hand trap of choice was the Triple Gamma with the Driver. This card is just insane. The fact that some of the Tri-Brigades activate in hand, you literally activate in hand, they do something, okay, Gamma, there you go, game, basically. Like, he also plays Omega in the extra deck, can rip another card, that's incredible. 2 copies of Rescue Cat. This is just really cool. Being able to summon 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters, I think is very cool. Being able to combo that in your deck with the Tri-Brigade monsters is just fantastic. For the Tri-Brigade monsters, of course, triple copies of Fractile. You've got 3 copies of Karaz and the 2 copies of Kit, along with your 3 copies of Nerval, and of course the Driver already mentioned with the Gamma, the 1 called by so all your plays go off, the triple 10 key because it just searches everything, the 1 of Foolish Burial because it can start your combos, same with 1 for 1, these cards are at 1 for a reason. 2 copies of the new Pot of Prosperity, this card is incredible. The fact that you don't have to banish at random, you pick what you need to banish, it just helps you get deeper into your deck. You can either decide to dig 3 or just dig 3 or dig 6, it's just incredible for the deck, just helping with the consistency and so that you see your combo pieces to just win the game. Then he's also got the 1 copy of the Tri-Brigade Rendezvous. I noticed that this is a card that a lot of players, my boy Yishan was playing this as well, kind of brought this to the forefront along with his deck. This is one of the cards that they were playing in the deck that I think is very cool, along with the trap card as well, the Tri-Brigade Oath. And these will probably be cards that we see the deck playing going forward. That's for the main deck. It is 41 cards. On to the side deck, you got the double copies of Lancia, the double copies of Droll, double copies of Nibiru, double copies of Cyclone, along with the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, the 1 Order, the 1 Reboot, and the double Solemn Judgment. A lot of 2-ofs in here, but I think it's very well constructed. It's got a good variety of cards for the entire meta, so I really do like this deck. I feel it benefits from playing a lot of 2-ofs. The deck is quite consistent, so being able to just have the 2-ofs in addition to what you're playing, you're also playing Prosperity to up your consistency. So I think the 2-ofs is perfectly fine, and he is playing a lot of blowout cards, not only for the meta, but also for all the up-and-coming like back row decks that have started to see a lot more play, especially at these types of tournaments. Then on to his extra deck, he is playing the 1 Omega. Obviously, this goes with the Gamma Driver. If it resolves, you literally just do this, rip another card. Card's great. The one Zeus, you already know, comboed with your Nightingale. Literally, you just slap a Zeus, and most decks just lose to Zeus. You've got your Reciting Starling. This, of course, considers your Crow, other stuff as well, so this card's great. The one copy of the Ancient Warrior, the Double Dragon Lords. You've got the one copy of Appaloosa, the one copy of Harpy Conductor, the one copy of the Doom Eagle, the one copy of Link Kribo. Probably the best card in the extra deck, the Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty. Of course, this brings out your Wind statue as well as your Apex Avian. For the Tri-Brigade Link monsters, you got the 2 copies of Frigid, and then you've got the 1 copy of Rugal, the rank 3, the Link 3. It doesn't happen as often as you would think, but it's just good to have in there for the versatility. And the 2 copies of the Shirag, the Ominous Omen, wrapping up the whole deck list. So before I get into the tournament report, why do I think this deck won? I think this deck won because I think this deck is extremely well positioned in this format. While it can struggle against Virtual World since they do play wind monsters, most decks in this format cannot out this card. And if you're not playing Droplet, you're not playing an out to this, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be able to play in this deck. Can play very well against you. Plays very good hand traps that, of course, stop the meta, and the deck is just very well built. I think a lot of players also did not prepare as much for this deck. Let's face it, when you think of the meta, you're thinking of Virtual World, you're thinking of Drytron, you're thinking of Eldritch, you're thinking of those type of decks and back row decks. You're not thinking about Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc. I mean, after this event, you probably will, but for the most part, I don't think a lot of players were. So this gave him a huge advantage, and I think that this deck is just very well constructed. Like I said, it's just very strong against the format in general. And like I said, since players were not super prepared for it, it took them by surprise. And like I said, this deck is very consistent, is very good at what it does, putting up Appaloosa, putting up the Barrier Wind statue, putting up the other negate in Apex Avian makes it very hard for the opponent to play. And even if they do try to find outs, they're going to struggle to break your board in general. But with all that out of the way, you guys, I now want to go into his very detailed tournament report. He started round 1. He went 2-0 against Madolche. Basically said nothing special here. Game 2, he Lightning Stormed for 5, and that felt good. Obviously, I mean, a Lightning Storm for 5 sounds pretty good to me, especially if you're playing a bunch of back row. Round 2, he played against kind of like a danger, like a pure danger OTK deck. It was a pretty normal game. He Lancia'd on my Prosperity, which allowed me to Gamma into Omega, but other than that, that was pretty much it. So Gamma resolved, pretty good. It's a blowout card. Round 3, he won 2-1 against Altergeist. Round 4, he won 2-1 against Dragon Link. He won the dice roll, but I gammoned his LP, so he ended on Spheres, and my Prosperity grabbed Called By, so he couldn't play optimally. Obviously, if he did grab the Call By, tries to use the Spheres, just Call By, and that's pretty much it. Game 3, he gammaed, but I opened up Imperial Order and Judgment. I mean, you know, when you have the stones, you have the stones. Literally, the deck needs spell cards, and you have this plus Solemn Judgment they can't play, so very, very strong. Round 5, he played against Geist again. This is actually very surprising. I guess there was a lot more Geist in this tournament than I thought. He ended up winning 2-1. This was like going second Geist list. It's very interesting. I swear I got hit with mine like 6 times. I opened full combo each game. Oath is a house of a card, the card that we talked about here. So very, very strong for the Tri-Brigade deck. Round 6, he played against Drytron, which was actually a Sala. He ended up winning 2-0. He was nervous because of course it was a Sala. Game 1, he scooped since I won die roll. Game 2, he made IP and Ben 10 and searched Lancia. I couldn't make board, but I did special Nerval and set Imperial Order. I survived his turn and made Zeus / DD Crow to survive his top deck. So very, very strong. Zeus plus DD Crow against Drytron will win you that game. Round 7, he played against Hanko, Hanko Chow, so he played against a very good player again and ended up winning 2-0 against his Prank Kids. We finally got a rematch after he beat me at the Invitational. Game 1, I had Oath for his droplets, but I let it resolve and he scooped. I still had Ash and Oath and a bounce left. Game 2, he sort of misplayed by not making Butler when I had Kobold and Warbler, so I was able to make Assembling into Zeus. It was also funny to reveal statue off pod and add it. So yeah, obviously digging 3 or 6 cards in your deck, getting a card like this that says you can't play is pretty broken in my opinion. And then round 8, he ended up winning against 2-0 against Numeron OTK. Oh wow, that deck made it all the way to round 8, basically undefeated. He opened nuts game 1, double Kaiju Lava Golem Numeron, but for some reason he specialed his Kaiju after the Numerons, and then he couldn't kill me. He got his set rendezvous going, and I was able to kill him. In game 2, I was able to win out of attrition. So his shout-outs he'd like to give, of course, shout-out to our boy Yishan for crafting with me and helping me fine-tune the deck. You already know Yishan is huge on the deck, and he's been really profiling a lot of great content over on his channel, so definitely check it out. Want to shout out his Yuba City crew, hometown testing buddies. You guys already know, got to stay loyal to the soil. My friend Eli, who let me crash in his house multiple times for these events since my living situation sucked. That's really awesome, bro. It's good to have friends like that. My SoCal crew, shout out to SoCal. You guys already know, for helping me just get better at the game and providing a healthy space away from home always. And then the TRI-BRIGADE group and Lester for helping me figure out combos, and just everyone out there who has supported me up until now. Well, all I can say, bro, is congratulations. You won the extravaganza. You did it with TRI-BRIGADE LYRILUSC. You're putting this deck more on the map, and I'm super excited to see what happens with this deck in the future. I think we're going to see a lot of great things from this deck. I don't think anything is up on the chopping block for this deck at all, so I think we're just going to see a lot of great things from this deck going forward, and I highly suggest you guys do try to build this deck as well, because it is a very strong contender in this format. But that's all I got for today, you guys. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to you, Kyle. Thank you again for sending me all this information. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you guys think about TRI-BRIGADE LYRILUSC winning our remote duel extravaganza. He went 8-0 undefeated, and I think the deck is awesome. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.